Okay, so I'm coming to you from... Sorry, my friend. Okay, sorry for that false start there. I'm coming to you from my bedroom, different setting than usual. Normally it's the living room. Some of you might have noticed, some of you might not, because the built-in camera is literally that rubbish, you can't really see much. I have red mark across here, across my face. And I just sort of wanted to explain what it was, hopefully raise some people's awareness of it, just, you know, in case you're too scared to ask, just explain what it is. Basically it's a birthmark, and the form that I have is referred to as a port wine stain. That's actually the medical term, as in port wine, and that is plainly put because when you spill port wine on something, it leaves a red stain, and that doesn't come out. Other birthmarks are known as strawberry marks, and they tend to be the same sort of colour as mine, but most of them are slightly raised, and they're called strawberry marks because they will actually fade away eventually, whereas port wine stains are permanent. They don't go away. Like, they don't. Mine hasn't even faded slightly at all since I was born. There's also another one called a coffee stain, which is as permanent as my one, but as you can guess, in a sort of coffee-ish sort of colour. And yeah, I just sort of wanted to explain a bit more as well. The one that I've got, it's because it's sort of, it can either be because your layers of skin are just thinner over that area. It's not like you've got less layers, but the layers that are there are thinner, and obviously your blood vessels and your veins show, giving you this red mark. Or there's more veins, or they're just closer up. That's what I've been told anyway. If I'm doing this wrong, if I'm explaining this wrong, then please let me know. But yeah, that's what always has been explained to me, is that it's the blood vessels showing up through my skin, basically. It sounds kind of painful from that description, but it's not. It's never given me any pain or anything. Some can cause medical complications, especially ones that are on the face or the head area. When I was younger, I had to have my head x-rayed to see if it went deep enough for there to be a possible risk of brain damage from it. But luckily, some people would argue against, but luckily I'm completely fine. I'm normal, so I don't have any brain damage or anything, or any complications or health risks from it. And yeah, it's just there, and yeah, it just sits there, not really doing much apart from getting me stared at quite occasionally. Quite occasionally, that makes no sense. Frequently. There you go. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to explain, because fear of something, or ignorance, or, you know, not knowing about something can sometimes lead to prejudice in people, and I'd really hate for that to happen. Yeah, it doesn't make me a different person to anyone else. I've makeup free from the Red Cross, that's recently changed to being run by the Changing Faces charity, that if I have a day where I just want to cover it up, I don't want to go out of the house with it showing, it works really well, and you can't tell that anything's there when I use it. And yeah, I did consider using it for these videos, but I just thought, you know, at some point I'm going to have a sort of coming out type thing of like, oh, I've actually got a birthmark, and it would look like I was doing it for attention, and, you know, but, you know, that's what I'm going for with this video at all. I just genuinely just want to educate people a bit more about it. And yeah, and just to ask you, if you see someone in a street that's got a birthmark, no matter how horrific it looks, I mean, I'm really lucky with mine, and I do genuinely, it might sound so weird and so messed up, but I genuinely thank my lucky stars that mine is how it is. Yes, it's on my face, and yes, it takes up quite a big area, but you know, it's literally just the same as the other side to the touch. It's not raised or bumped at all. It doesn't disfigure me in any way, whereas some birthmarks completely change the shape of someone's face, or you know, or wherever it is on their body. So you know, I'm really I've got nothing to complain about at all. But you know, obviously on some days it's really easy to forget that, and you do get down, especially if you've had a day where you've been stared at quite a lot, or if someone said something to you. I've had some quite nasty comments from people occasionally, but you know, that's what I was talking about earlier with ignorance and stuff. They just don't know what it is, they just fear what it is, so they try and make light out of it by picking at someone with it. And you know, it's not cool. It happens with everything. It happens with homosexuality, it happens with racism, you know, all of it is just out of ignorance and fear. And so yeah, that's just why I was trying to, I wanted to put up this video to sort of try and stamp out, or you know, not stamp out completely, because I'm not a big enough person to do that, but you know, do my bit for just getting rid of any prejudices or anything that's out there. But yeah, I would ask you that if you see someone in the street with one, don't stare at them. Don't, you know, if you really want to, go up and ask them in the most polite way possible. Oh, I know that, you know, you've got a birthmark, or, you know, is that a birthmark? I was just wondering, you know, how it feels, or, you know, what you feel like to have one. And genuinely, most people will appreciate that. Some people won't. Some people, maybe they will snap at you, but that's literally just because they're so used to, unfortunately, being bullied over it and stuff. So they'll have their guards up, and they'll assume that you're meaning to cut them down or something by it. But you know, if you make it as obvious as you can that you're really not, you're just really genuinely interested in that person and how they live their life, then you know, it should be fine. But while I'm saying don't stare at them, I've got to give you a complete contradiction of don't avoid eye contact with them either, because you know, some people think like they're just walking down the street, they see someone that they don't think they should stare at, and this goes for people with learning disabilities, people in wheelchairs. You know, I'm not pretending to know everything about that, but I can relate to them in some points, where people will be walking down the street and they'll see you, and they'll see that there's something different about you, and they'll think, oh shit, I better not stare at them. Look to the ground, look to the ground, look to the ground, avoid eye contact. And that hurts as much as someone staring at you. You know, it's not as extreme as being treated like a subhuman, but it can feel like that, even though a few days later you'll be like, Billy, that was ridiculous. They weren't treating you like a subhuman. They were trying to do the best thing. They didn't want to stare at you and hurt you. It can still feel like that. Yeah, so just, you know, just bear in mind, just if you really want to, go up and ask. And I genuinely appreciate it when people do that. People don't do that enough. But if you don't want to, just smile at them like you would a normal person walking past you in the street. Or, you know, do whatever you normally do with people that pass you in the street. Don't try not to do anything different with them. And I appreciate it is difficult, and you know, I'm even guilty of doing this. You know, I'm not trying to sit up on my high horse and pretend to know more than you, because I don't. And you know, everyone's guilty of it. I do it, and you know, I should really know better. But you know, you do stare at people that look different. But yeah, this video's gone on really long. Sorry, I didn't plan for that. But yeah, just if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will do a video response to them. Or if you don't want to ask it publicly, then you can message me. I think there's a way to do that. I'm not really up on the whole running your own YouTube page thing yet, but I think there is a way to get inboxes from people who subscribe to you. So, you know, subscribe, inbox me. if you want to know more. If this video has just been a waste of time and you want to hear more covers, then just ignore this video, listen to the covers. And if you don't like me at all, don't like my singing voice, don't like this video, then feel free to leave. I'm not, I'm not making you stay here. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Just let me know if there was something that didn't. Okay, until next time.